What if you woke up and remembered nothing, not even your own name? Eleanor opened her eyes in a hospital room, sunlight streaming in, but her mind was empty, no memories, no sense of self. Machines beeped softly, nothing felt familiar. She saw everything, but recognized nothing, not even her own reflection. A nurse greeted her. "Good morning, Eleanor." The name felt like it belonged to someone else. Fear tightened in her stomach. "Do you know where you are?" the nurse asked. Eleanor shook her head. Even speaking felt impossible. Who was she? What had happened? Tears welled up, not from sadness but from a terrifying emptiness. This was the start of Eleanor's journey, a search for identity in a world she no longer knew. Imagine waking up tomorrow and not recognizing your own face. For Eleanor, the hospital room became a stage for a life she couldn't remember. People visited, their faces filled with concern and love. A man with kind, weary eyes introduced himself as her husband David. He spoke of a life together, but to Eleanor, it was all unfamiliar. He described their wedding, their travels, even the day they brought home a puppy. Each story was vivid, but Eleanor felt nothing. The emotional disconnect was the most disorienting part of her new reality. Her daughter Sophie visited, tears in her eyes, sharing photos of a life Eleanor couldn't recall. Eleanor saw herself smiling in photos, surrounded by family, but felt like a stranger looking in. The woman in the pictures looked happy and loved, but Eleanor felt only emptiness, a profound ache where memories should be. Doctors explained her diagnosis: retrograde amnesia, caused by encephalitis, sudden brain inflammation. The infection had damaged the parts of her brain responsible for long-term memory. It was as if the librarian of her mind had vanished, leaving the books, her memories, lost and unreachable. The scale of her loss was overwhelming, not just names and dates, but her entire lived experience was gone. She didn't know her favorite color, music, or food. Even the scent of rain or the comfort of a familiar jumper was lost to her. Every preference, every skill, every piece of knowledge that defined her was erased. Eleanor was left with a void, a constant silence where her life's symphony once played. Returning home felt like stepping into a stranger's life. Every object in the house was a mystery, each one holding a story she couldn't reach: a collection of stones, a chipped teacup, a sunlit armchair, clues to a forgotten life. David patiently explained, "You collected those stones in Cornwall, that was your grandmother's cup." Eleanor listened, searching for connection, but it always slipped away. Sophie made a scrapbook, photos, notes, a timeline of Eleanor's life: birth, childhood, wedding, Sophie's arrival, each image a puzzle piece. She studied the faces, memorized names, desperate to find herself in the fragments. David played music, classical, jazz, rock, hoping for a spark. Most songs meant nothing, but a Chopin melody stopped her. It felt hauntingly familiar, stirring emotions she couldn't explain. The scent of lavender in the garden brought unexpected peace, a feeling without a memory. These tiny moments were her first fragile connections to a lost self. But frustration and heartbreak were constant companions. Some days, the loss felt unbearable. She saw a stranger in the mirror, a face mapped by years she couldn't recall. She felt like an imposter, living a life that wasn't hers, surrounded by people mourning the woman she used to be. Her journey was anything but straight, a winding path, with moments of hope and long shadows of doubt. After the shock faded, her family and friends became her lifeline. They acted as her living memory, piecing together her lost past. David, her partner, showed remarkable patience, never pushing, never showing frustration. Instead, he gently guided her, reintroducing her to their shared life. Walks through their neighborhood became lessons in memory, each landmark a story retold without expectation. Her daughter Sophie focused on building a new bond in the present. They started simple: baking, coffee, laughter, creating new memories together. These moments helped Eleanor see Sophie not just as a daughter, but as a new friend. Her friends rallied too, becoming her keepers of memory. Maria, her best friend, visited weekly, not to reminisce but to simply be there. Maria's unwavering normality was a lifeline, helping Eleanor accept herself. This network of support kept her from despair. Even without her memories, she was never alone. Their love anchored her in a world that felt uncertain and new. Together, their patience and love became the foundation for her new sense of self. Imagine your brain as a vast, bustling city. Memories are its people, buildings, and roads, connecting everything. Different districts handle different types of memory. Working memory is like a busy intersection. Information comes and goes quickly, just long enough to use it. Procedural memory runs on autopilot. It's how you walk, talk, or ride a bike without thinking. For Eleanor, this part of her brain was still working. She could move, speak, and care for herself. But the largest district, long-term memory, holds our facts and life stories. Semantic memory is like a library of facts. Episodic memory is your personal history book, your unique life moments. This is where Eleanor suffered most. Her personal memories were lost. The hippocampus, deep in the brain, acts as the city planner, organizing and retrieving memories. Eleanor's encephalitis severely damaged this vital area. With the city planner gone, the roads to her memories were destroyed, leaving Eleanor stranded in the present, unable to reach her past. Eleanor woke up in the hospital with severe retrograde amnesia. Retrograde amnesia means losing memories from before the illness or injury. For Eleanor, it was as if her entire life story had burned away, leaving only a blank page. Everything from her childhood to the moment she woke up was gone. The cause? Viral encephalitis, a rare virus that inflames the brain. This swelling damages delicate brain structures, especially the temporal lobes and hippocampus, critical for memory. These are the very areas where our life stories are stored. This is different from anterograde amnesia, where people can't form new memories. Patient HM could remember his past, but not what happened moments ago. Eleanor's case is the opposite. Her past is gone, but she can form new memories. She remembers what she did yesterday, the names of her doctors, and new things she learns. But these new memories have nothing to connect to. No foundation, no past. They're like islands in a sea of nothingness. The brain can adapt, a quality called neuroplasticity. But when brain cells are destroyed, as in Eleanor's case, they can't be regrown. Her past isn't just locked away, it's been erased. There's no cure, no magic pill to bring it back. The challenge now is to help Eleanor build a new life, using the parts of her mind that remain. Eleanor's journey to rebuild her identity began with small, uncertain steps. She had to rediscover who she was, piecing together clues from her surroundings and the people around her. Eleanor started a journal, not to remember the past, but to capture each new discovery about herself. She called herself Eleanor 2.0, documenting likes, dislikes, and moments of joy or frustration. Some discoveries were simple, like realizing she hated coffee. Others were unexpectedly joyful, like hearing the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun, and feeling happiness she couldn't explain. This journal became her external memory, a foundation for her new self. Though her episodic memory was gone, Eleanor's core personality, traits, her humor and empathy, remained. Her family noticed she still had the same dry wit and compassion. Watching a sad film, she cried, not from memory, but from genuine empathy. This empathy became a bridge between her past and present self. Returning to gardening, Eleanor found her hands remembered what her mind could not. This was procedural memory. Her skills survived, even if her memories didn't. In the garden she felt purposeful, a creator, not just a patient. But progress was slow, and frustration was a constant companion. There were moments of despair, feeling like a stranger in her own life. She had to accept being known by others in ways she could never know herself. Some chapters of her story would always remain closed. Yet, with each new discovery and shared moment, Eleanor was building a bridge, not back to her past, but forward into a future she could finally call her own. This was her slow, courageous road to a new identity. Eleanor faced a haunting question. If memories make us who we are, what remains when they're gone? Was she still Eleanor, or someone entirely new? Each day she confronted this reality. Her past felt both close and impossibly distant. Old photos showed a life she couldn't remember yet shaped the person she was. She felt detached, as if observing someone else's story, but her family's love was real, grounding her in the present. Eleanor discovered that identity isn't just memories, it's also how we act and connect now. Her kindness, a trait everyone remembered, surfaced naturally in her actions. When a neighbor's cat was stuck, she instinctively helped, proof that some things run deeper than memory. In these moments she felt most like herself, even without a past to define her. She realized identity is not a fixed archive, but a living process. It's shaped by choices, relationships, and values, right now. She couldn't remember loving her husband, but she could choose to love him today. She couldn't recall her daughter's childhood, but she could build a new bond. Letting go of the past freed her to create a future. She wasn't a blank slate, but a canvas for a new life. Her core, kindness, humor, empathy, remained, even without memories. The me was never lost, just waiting to be rediscovered. Eleanor's story isn't about loss, it's about resilience and the power of love. She never regained her memories. The library of her past stayed closed, but Eleanor built a new, meaningful life, one rooted in the present and hope for the future. She learned to live fully, finding joy in each moment. Her life proved we are more than our memories. Every sensation was new, each day, a fresh discovery. She cherished laughter, sunlight, and the love of her family with a childlike wonder. Eleanor taught those around her to notice the small wonders they'd forgotten. Her condition, though devastating, gave her the gift of perpetual novelty and transformed her relationships. Her family's love became the foundation for a new, deeper connection. Together, they built new memories and traditions, embracing the woman she had become. Eleanor learned to accept love as a gift in the present, not a reward for a forgotten past. Her journey shows us that identity is shaped by love, choice, and connection, not just memory. Her past was blank, but her future was hers to write. Eleanor's story reminds us, even when everything is erased, we can still create meaning, one new chapter at a time.